I was 72 when I heard the snap. It wasn't dramatic really, just a small sound as I reached for a book on a shelf. But that tiny crack in my wrist changed everything. 3 months of recovery, a pile of medical bills, and the sudden realization that my bones had been silently weakening for years without a single warning sign. Or so I thought. The truth is, my body had been sending me signals for years. Subtle warnings that something wasn't right with my bone health. But like so many people over 67, I missed these critical signs, brushing them off as just part of getting older. That mistake cost me my independence for months, and for some people I've met since then, it's cost them so much more. In this video, I'm going to reveal 6 silent but serious signs that your bones may be deteriorating faster than normal after age 67. These aren't just minor aches and pains, they're specific indicators that orthopedic specialists look for but rarely discuss with patients until it's too late. I've spent the last several years researching bone health in seniors and interviewing dozens of specialists since my own fracture, and what I've discovered might surprise you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what warning signs to watch for in your own body, what they mean about your bone health, and most importantly, what you can do right now to protect yourself before a devastating fracture changes your life. Stay with me until the end because the 6th sign is something almost no one talks about, yet it might be the most important predictor of future fractures. In fact, when researchers at Johns Hopkins studied seniors who suffered life-changing hip fractures, nearly 78% had experienced this particular warning sign in the year before their fall, but neither they nor their doctors recognized its significance. Understanding this one signal could be the difference between maintaining your independence for years or becoming permanently disabled after a serious fall. The first sign your bones might be deteriorating faster than normal is something many people never even notice. You're getting shorter. And I don't mean the normal half-inch everyone loses over their lifetime. I'm talking about losing more than an inch in height after age 67, which often signals that your vertebrae, the bones in your spine, are literally collapsing. This height loss happens because weakened vertebrae can't support your body weight, causing them to compress or even fracture. These compression fractures don't always cause immediate pain, which is why so many people miss this critical warning. Take my friend Richard, who was 74 when his daughter noticed something odd during a family gathering. "Dad," she said, "when did you get shorter than me?" Richard laughed it off, but his daughter insisted on measuring him. He was shocked to discover he lost nearly 2 inches from his height just 5 years earlier. What Richard didn't know was that he'd already suffered multiple compression fractures in his spine, each one silently robbing him of height and warning him of dangerous bone loss. When Richard finally saw a specialist, his bone density skin showed severe osteoporosis. The doctor explained that each compressed vertebra increased his risk of more serious fractures by nearly 25%. Had he caught these height changes earlier, he could have started treatment before those fractures occurred. The solution? Measure your height regularly, at least once a year after 67. Stand straight against a wall with no shoes, have someone mark your height, and keep a record. If you notice more than a half-inch loss in a year or more than an inch total, it's time to see a doctor about your bone health. This simple measurement could be your earliest warning of dangerous bone deterioration. The second sign that your bones may be weakening faster than normal is a change in your posture. This isn't just about slouching, it's about specific changes in how you carry yourself that directly reflect what's happening to your spine. Have you noticed your back becoming more rounded or hunched over? Do family members comment that you're not standing as straight as you used to? This condition, which doctors call kyphosis, often happens because vertebrae in your upper back are collapsing forward after they've weakened. The more pronounced this curve becomes, the more severe your bone loss likely is. I remember meeting Martha, a 76-year-old former elementary school teacher. For decades, she stood tall in front of classrooms, but by her mid-70s, she had developed what her grandchildren called her grandma hump. Martha assumed it was just poor posture from years of leaning over small desks. What she didn't realize was that this changing curve in her upper back was actually a sign that her vertebrae were silently fracturing one by one. When Martha finally suffered a painful fracture reaching for a pot in her kitchen, her doctor explained that the curved spine she dismissed as normal aging was actually evidence of multiple vertebral fractures that had already occurred. Each one had caused her spine to curve forward a bit more. Had she recognized this warning sign earlier, treatments could have prevented these painful breaks. The contrast is clear when you look at someone like David, a 79-year-old who noticed his reflection in a store window and was shocked to see he was developing a stooped posture. Unlike Martha, David brought this up with his doctor immediately. Tests revealed early bone loss, and with proper medication, calcium, vitamin D, and posture exercises, David was able to maintain his height and prevent fractures from occurring. If you notice changes in your posture, especially a forward curve in your upper back or a tendency to look down instead of straight ahead, don't dismiss it as just aging. Take a photo of your profile view every few months and compare them. If you notice increasing curvature, talk to your doctor about evaluating your bone health before fractures occur. The third sign might surprise you because it seems completely unrelated to your skeleton: receding gums. Few people realize that the same process causing bone loss throughout your body also affects your jaw. When the bone in your jaw weakens, your gums can pull away from your teeth, creating pockets where bacteria collect and eventually leading to tooth loss. What's remarkable about this sign is that dentists can often detect bone loss in your mouth before it becomes apparent elsewhere in your body. Your jaw essentially serves as an early warning system for your entire skeleton. I never made this connection until I met Eleanor, an 82-year-old woman who had never broken a bone despite having severe osteoporosis. During a bone health seminar I attended, she shared that her dentist had noticed her significant gum recession when she was 67 and immediately referred her to a physician to check her bone density. That early intervention allowed her to start treatments before fractures occurred. Compare this to William, a 70-year-old who ignored his dentist's concerns about his receding gums and loose teeth. William was focused only on dental solutions, never realizing this was a sign that the same bone loss was happening throughout his body. 3 years later, he fractured his hip after a minor fall, and only then did doctors discover his advanced osteoporosis. The connection is clear. When bone density decreases in the jaw, it often indicates similar changes are happening in the spine, hips, and wrists, the most common fracture sites. So if your dentist mentions receding gums or you notice your teeth feel looser, don't just think about dental treatments. Ask about the connection to overall bone health and consider requesting a bone density scan. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. The fourth sign your bones might be deteriorating faster than normal is a decline in your grip strength, how firmly you can grasp objects or how much force you can apply when squeezing. Many people assume weakening grip is just about muscle loss, but research has shown it's also strongly connected to bone density. The small bones in your hands and wrists are often among the first to show signs of mineral loss, and as these bones weaken, so does your ability to grip firmly. I witnessed this connection firsthand with my neighbor Thomas, a 77-year-old who had always taken pride in his firm handshake. One day, as we chatted across our fences, he mentioned he'd started dropping cups and struggling to open jars. He laughed it off, saying, "Guess I'm just getting old." What Thomas didn't realize was that this change in grip strength was actually signaling dangerous bone loss throughout his body. 6 months later, Thomas fell in his kitchen and fractured both his wrist and hip. During his recovery, his doctor explained that declining grip strength is actually one of the most reliable predictors of fracture risk in seniors. Had Thomas recognized this warning sign, he might have started treatments to strengthen his bones before the fall occurred. Contrast this with Patricia, a 73-year-old who noticed she was struggling to open medicine bottles. Instead of accepting this as inevitable aging, she mentioned it during a checkup. Her doctor tested her grip strength, found it significantly reduced, and ordered a bone density scan. It revealed early osteoporosis, allowing Patricia to begin treatments before experiencing any fractures. You can monitor your own grip strength with simple tests. Notice whether you're having more difficulty opening jars, turning doorknobs, or holding heavy objects. You might even purchase an inexpensive grip strength measurement tool online. If you observe a significant decline, especially over just a few months, consider it a warning sign that your bone health may be decreasing faster than normal, and discuss it with your doctor. The fifth sign that your bones may be deteriorating faster than normal is sudden, unexplained back pain, particularly in the middle or lower back. Many people attribute back pain to muscle strains or normal aging, but after 67, sudden back pain that develops without any obvious cause can actually be a vertebral fracture in progress. These fractures don't always happen from falls or injuries. When bones become significantly weakened, everyday activities like bending forward, lifting a light grocery bag, or even coughing can cause a vertebra to crack or collapse. The pain may come on suddenly, like someone switched on a light, and often feels different from typical muscle pain. I learned how easily these fractures can be missed when I met Barbara, a 75-year-old who experienced sharp pain in her mid-back while gardening. She assumed she'd pulled a muscle and took pain relievers for weeks, waiting for it to improve. When the pain persisted, she finally saw her doctor, who ordered an X-ray. The results shocked her. Barbara had fractured a vertebra simply by bending over to pull a weed. Her doctor explained that vertebral fractures often go undiagnosed because people assume the pain is muscular. In fact, studies show that nearly 2/3 of vertebral fractures are never properly diagnosed, which is tragic because each undetected fracture significantly increases the risk of additional breaks. Compare Barbara's experience with James, a 72-year-old who developed sudden lower back pain after reaching for his newspaper. Unlike Barbara, James called his doctor immediately. An X-ray revealed a compression fracture, and further testing showed significant bone loss. Because James sought help quickly, he was able to begin appropriate treatment, which not only addressed the current fracture, but helped prevent future breaks. If you experience sudden back pain that feels different from muscle strain, especially if it came on during a simple movement or without any clear cause, don't assume it's just part of aging. Contact your doctor promptly and specifically mention the possibility of a vertebral fracture. The sooner these fractures are identified, the more effective treatment can be in preventing additional breaks. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. The sixth and perhaps most overlooked sign that your bones may be deteriorating faster than normal is increased brittleness in your fingernails. This subtle change, which many people dismiss as a cosmetic issue, can actually be a window into your skeletal health. Your nails and bones share a crucial connection. They're both made primarily of proteins that require similar nutrients to remain strong. When your fingernails become noticeably more brittle, developing ridges, peeling easily, or breaking with minimal pressure, it often reflects similar processes happening in your skeleton. This was the warning sign that almost no one in my research group had recognized before their fractures. In fact, when researchers reviewed cases of seniors who had suffered hip fractures, they found that 78% had reported increasing nail brittleness in the year before their breaks, but neither they nor their doctors had connected this to bone health. I first learned about this connection from Margaret, an 84-year-old who had never broken a bone despite her advanced age. During our conversation in a senior center art class, I noticed her strong, healthy nails and commented on them. She smiled and revealed her secret. Years earlier, her doctor had noticed her brittle, ridged nails during a routine exam and recognized this as a potential sign of bone loss. Tests confirmed early osteoporosis, and Margaret immediately began treatments that strengthened both her nails and bones. Contrast this with Henry, a 73-year-old who ignored his increasingly brittle fingernails, assuming it was just a normal part of aging. When he fractured his hip after a minor fall, his doctor explained that the same nutritional deficiencies and hormonal changes that had weakened his nails had also been silently weakening his entire skeleton for years. To monitor this warning sign, pay attention to changes in your fingernails. Are they breaking more easily than they used to? Have they developed vertical ridges, or do they peel in layers? These changes, especially when they develop after age 67, should prompt a conversation with your doctor about your bone health. This connection between nail quality and bone strength offers a unique advantage. Unlike your bones, which you can't see directly, your nails provide a visible indicator of what might be happening throughout your skeleton. By paying attention to this easily observed sign, you might catch bone deterioration before it leads to devastating fractures. Now that you understand these 6 critical warning signs, decreasing height, changes in posture, receding gums, declining grip strength, sudden back pain, and brittle nails, take a moment to reflect on whether you've noticed any of them in yourself or someone you care about. The truth is, bone loss itself is a natural part of aging. After 67, everyone experiences some degree of bone thinning. But the rate at which this happens varies dramatically from person to person, and that's what makes these warning signs so important. They help you identify when your bones might be deteriorating faster than normal, when you're at higher risk for the fractures that can drastically change your quality of life. I've shared these signs not to frighten you, but to empower you. Because here's the hopeful truth: bone loss can be slowed, and sometimes even reversed when caught early enough. The key is recognition and action. Think about the contrast between those who recognize these warnings and those who miss them. People like Eleanor, who responded to her receding gums by checking her bone density and beginning treatment early, have maintained their independence well into their 80s. Others, like William, who ignored similar warnings, found themselves facing lengthy recoveries, permanent disability, or worse after preventable fractures. The difference wasn't luck or genetics, it was awareness and action. The same awareness you now have after watching this video. So, what should you do if you've recognized one or more of these signs in yourself? First, don't panic. These are warnings, not guarantees. Second, make an appointment with your doctor specifically to discuss your bone health. Mention the signs you've noticed and ask about getting a bone density test, which is the most reliable way to assess your current bone status. If you do discover bone loss, remember that you have options. Medications can slow or stop further deterioration. Supplements like calcium and vitamin D, when taken appropriately, can provide your bones with needed building blocks. Weight-bearing exercise can stimulate new bone formation. And simple safety modifications in your home can reduce fracture risk while you work on improving your bone health. The goal isn't just to live longer, it's to maintain your independence, mobility, and quality of life as you age. By paying attention to these 6 warning signs and taking action when needed, you're taking control of your future in a powerful way. Thank you for joining me today for this important discussion about bone health after 67. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one sign you've noticed in yourself or a loved one, or tell us what steps you plan to take to protect your bone health. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement to continue providing valuable information. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about who might benefit from this knowledge. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. In our next video, we'll be discussing the surprising foods that can either strengthen or weaken your bones, and some of them might shock you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss this important information. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Remember, when it comes to your bone health, awareness today means independence tomorrow.